College? Classic? Did you say college classic campus? Well, sure you did. I heard you, dummy. No dummy here. Who are you calling dummy, stupid? Stupid? Who are you calling stupid, ugly? Ugly? Who are you calling ugly? Coward? Coward? Who are you calling coward? Venomite? Venomite? Who are you calling Venomite, you Pee-wee? Pee-wee? Did you say Pee-wee? Did somebody say Pee-wee? I heard you say Pee-wee. Did you say Pee-wee? I heard you say it. I heard you say it. Oh, golly, guys, I'm going to get me a new motorcycle. Never mind. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We're still on. We'll be off by Wednesday or Tuesday, I'm sure of it. Reading Fredrick Douglas. Let's get into it, guys, yeah? Thank you, Jesus Christ. We're almost done with Fredrick Douglas' book, too. We've got just a couple of chapters left, and then we're done. So, the gray-bearded, iron-willed John Brown was a frequent visitor to the Douglas home during the 1850s, advocating militant abolitionism and wanting to start a slave insurrection in the South. Oh. Well, we can't beat them, join them. This is the man about whom it was said that his stare could force a dog or a cat out of a room. Wow. Douglas explained later John Brown's plan, as it was then formed in his mind, was very simple and had much to command it. It did not, as some suppose, directly contemplate a general uprising among the slaves and a general slaughter of the slave masters, but it did contemplate the creation of an armed force which should constantly act against slavery in the heart of the South. Well, we have to remember, too, that slavery didn't just wasn't popular. It wasn't just popular in America. It was popular in Africa. Lots of parts of Africa, slavery was popular. In other countries, it was popular as well. But, hey, who am I? You gotta remember, the Queen of Ethiopia in the Holy Bible took slaves, which were eunuchs and stuff like that, black people or Negroes, and they gave them to King David and or Solomon, and he had Negro slaves, and he had slaves in his palace. Did you know that? The problem was is that he gave up too much information. He was gave up too much, and they wanted to get him sooner or later, and they did. On Saturday, August 20th, 1859, Brown and Douglas met for the last time. Their meeting took place in an old stone quarry on the Connecorage near the town of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Brown's arms and ammunition were stored in that town and were to be moved the same night to Harper's Ferry in Northern Virginia, where Brown planned to seize the weapons in the federal armory and hold the citizens hostage while he rounded up slaves in the area, establishing a kind of sanctuary. He had written to Douglas urging him to come and join him. Douglas had refused, knowing that an attack on federal property would enrage most Americans. The two men talked for hours, Douglas telling Brown that he was going into a steel trap. Brown saying, "Come with me, Douglas. I will defend you with my life." They separated. Douglas went back to Rochester. John Brown went to Harper's Ferry, which he would never return. On October 16, 1859, Brown and his 21 men crossed the Potomac and seized Harper's Ferry. The next night, Robert E. Lee led federal troops into the town. Brown was captured. 2 of his sons were killed, along with 8 other men. And within 2 months, Brown was tried for treason, found guilty, and on December 2nd at Charlestown, the hangman's trap was sprung. Wow. Robert E. Lee. yeah. I bet you anything That's who that is. No joke, huh? Newspapers' accounts featured the name of Fredrick Douglas since letters from him had been found in a carpet bag among Brown's belongings. Federal officers were on their way to arrest him in order to bring him to trial in Virginia. Douglas, knowing that he had little chance for a fair trial there, fled to Canada 6 hours before the marshals arrived. From there, he wrote letters justifying both his flight and his refusal to help Brown. He did not condone the raid on federal property, but praised Brown as a noble old hero. Toward the end, 1859, Douglas sailed to England for a lecture tour. The British were eager to hear about Harper's Ferry. Douglas declared that slavery might be put down by honesty carrying out the provisions of the Constitution. The following spring in May, as he was ready to set out for lectures in France, he received word that his youngest child, Annie, the light and life of my house, had died. Heartbroken, he decided to go home. By now he had been free of all charges. The public furor had died down, and John Brown was being spoken of as a martyr for an abolitionist cause. The two who wrote glowingly about him were Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson. Another contemporary, E.C. Stedman, wrote, "And old Brown, Osawatomie Brown, may trouble you more than ever when you've nailed his coffin down." Douglas spoke frequently about Brown as well. He saw the evil through no mist, haze, or clouds, but in a broad light of infinite brightness. His zeal in the cause of freedom was infinitely superior to mine. Mine was as the taper light. He was the burning sun. I could speak for the slave. John Brown could fight for the slave. I could live for the slave. John Brown could die for the slave. That was the speech. College Classic Campus Hits. I'm TC Barr. God bless you. Happy New Year. We're going into 2000.